Oh, hi, hi, everyone, and welcome to Wrexham. Today we're doing the season review and transfer specials. So hopefully we get a lot of transfers into the club. There's a lot of players leaving as well, and a season where we finished champions. So we're going up from the National League all the way to League Football and League Two. We were the underdog story of the year. Apparently, we're going to start with the season review. Um, Looking at the signings, they basically say Enzo Robisi, probably is how you probably meant to say it, was the signing of the season, and we only got a B minus for him. So apparently not fantastic, but they're happy the fact that there was a release clause on him. He did score a decent amount of goals as well, but I'd probably argue that one of our loaning signings, like Ronnie Edwards, would be maybe the signing of the season. But you know what? Who am I to discount them? I didn't actually sign Keller. He was already brought into the club. Um, Same with Horsfield. Booty did all right, or his average rating dropped off towards the end instead of his assists, but he looked good. Um, Ben Little, we're probably not looking to bring back. Hackney, maybe. Again, average rating wise, he didn't do too good. Um, a few other players that we didn't actually bring in that were already made for the club. Cameron Stanley was out on loan. You may be wondering how he went. Not great. He didn't play any competitive game of football. He did score 14 goals in 30 appearances for Bath City out on loan, but that was in their reserves. So he hasn't really improved. We're just going to release him. He doesn't look, he doesn't look too good. In terms of the results, yes, this was a season where we finished champions. So top of the table for us. Final position was first. Our board expectation was only to reach the playoffs, so we definitely exceeded that. And our average home attendance was 5,500, so apparently 35% capacity of our stadium. So stadium's not going to be an issue in League Two or League One by the looks of it. And the board confidence A plus rating, of course, in the FA Cup. We reached the third round and we were only expected to reach the first round. So the board are delighted. Apparently that's a B minus. These ratings in Football Manager, by the way, are sometimes ridiculous. So anyway, whatever. FA Trophy, we were meant to reach a semi-final. We did reach the semi-final. And they're apparently pleased with a C. So, yep. That was our season moments to remember. We smashed Dragon Red last game of the season, I think. Oh no, back in last year we smashed them twice. Man, oh man, we really did a number of them. But 7-2, 5-0 against Solihull Moors was apparently our biggest win. Oh, that was? Yeah. And then goal of the season, which you can't view from this screen for some reason, was Hackney. So good on him. Financially, sponsorship money, 25,000. Broadcast revenue, 86,000. Corporate and hospitality, pretty decent, 259,000. Prize money, only 94,000. And match day commercial and retail, 670,000. We sold 1,235 shirts, with our main sellers being Booty is our top salesperson for shirts, Davies, Rabisi, Bodu, and Ben Elmane. That bring in £68,000 to the club. Our reputation has gone up a little bit, so still regional reputation, but from 1.5 stars to 2 stars. It says it has not changed, but it has. So, yep, that is the sponsorship. In terms of the best 11 for the year, we've got Lanson in goal, a back four of Brown, Keller, Edwards, and Horsfield, Little and Booty in the midfield, Angus, Bodu, and Robisi out on the right, and Phillips up front. You probably heard me say that quite a lot as we've lined up throughout the year. In terms of our top goal scorers, this year was Dior Angus with 29 goals in 26 starts and 38 appearances altogether. 5 assists in there as well. So well done to him. Pretty much all of that coming in the league as well. A few goals in the in the FA Trophy. But you can see from his stats, he's really nothing special. So for him to get that, he's done well. And as I said, most of those goals were him cutting in from the left-hand side with his right foot and being able to finish off a cross that's come in. So he's finished top goal scorer. Kieran Phillips did get second best with 13. You can see he started pretty much as our striker. 39 appearances, 13 goals, 8 assists. Not good enough from our man leading the line. You definitely want more. So yeah, and then third place, Enzo Ribisi with quite a lot more appearances, but he chipped in with 11 goals and 12 assists. So pretty good contribution from him. Assist-wise, he was our top assist with 12. James Horsfield from right back with 10, and then Phillips with 8. Archie Brown obviously played quite a bit less games throughout the year, but he chipped in with 7 assists as well. In terms of the accolades, we have won the monthly manager of the year for January and February. Club awards, fans player of the season is Dior Angus. Fair enough, he had a pretty good season. Young player of the season is Ronnie Edwards. Well done to him. Signing of the season, Enzo Ribisi. Goal of the season, as I said before, Aiden Hackney. Top goal scorer, we already know, Dior Angus. Most assists, Ribisi. Most player of the match awards also went to Angus. Highest average rating also went to Angus. And most passes completed per 90 minutes. No one actually cares about that, but that goes to my main man, Booty, there. In terms of record breakers, we have quite a few. Dior Angus's 29 goals in a season is a record, apparently. Same with the assists. Obviously, it's the first season, so everything is kind of done. Lanton got 16 clean sheets. Angus got 7 player of the matches awards. In terms of the worst discipline, we're going to call him the angriest man in Wrexham, is Kelleher with 14 yellow cards. Didn't get a red card, though. Our youngest goal scorer was Ricky Vaughan. Our fastest goal was Ben Little. And our oldest goal scorer was Durrell, who will definitely be leaving the club. Didn't get any competition awards either. So, I mean, we finished first by a long way and we got no competition awards. Makes you think who they're going to. In terms of, the season, it was a good one. So, well done to everyone in goal. Everyone for the season. It was a good year. That's essentially our season review. We also look at our expectations for next year. So they want us to play entertaining football, not a problem. Direct football, not a problem. Attacking football, not a problem. I mean, counter-attacking football and attacking football are just opposing things. So we might want to negotiate that. The 5-year plan is just to work with the wage budget at the moment. End of next season, they want us to avoid relegation. So that is the goal. And end of next season is when our youth facilities will be done as well. We're going to try and just take out this stupid counter-attacking football. I mean, we're just going to not do it. That's all. We're just not going to, we press, we're going to play the Gegen press. That's what we're doing. We're playing attacking football. None of this counter-attacking football nonsense. Football Manager, fix that, please. In terms of our dynamics, Pearson is the current team leader, but he'll be moving on, so don't expect to see him too much in the future. End of season. We basically want to mid-table. We're good enough to not be involved in a relegation battle. Apparently that we're not good enough to setting ourselves beyond survival. Okay, fine. God, these team talks are rubbish. Piss off, guys. Go on your end of season break. Fantastic. You just destroy morale in one meeting because we want to do what the board said we want to do. But the squad's now gone on the end of season break. So we're going to fast forward a little bit and then we'll have a look at the Premier League youngsters that we've brought into the club. And then we get to start looking for brand new players to bring in and where we need to strengthen, basically where we need to strengthen once all the old people leave. But I'll see you guys back here in a sec. Well, guys, I think one of the most important transfers of the summer is being completed, and Archie Brown is back for another year. He has agreed to come back in on loan. Fans are very pleased with the loan signing. He's a potential Premier League left winger or left back, even. He looks good. He's played well. He's contributed with goals, assists, defensive work. The man can do it all. He's on loan from Derby for another year. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's already operating at League Two standards. So I'm very happy to have him in. Well, guys, the window has opened. We can now sign players. Yeah, we've basically got a whole bunch coming in tomorrow or to just now that you're going to see in just a second. Welcome him to the club. This is basically all the business we've done. Look at all those B minuses. That's not a bad result. So let's meet the Premier League youngsters that come in. We've got Mazid Agumbo. Mazid Agumbo. Okay. He comes in. He's an Irish under 18, under 19, international. He comes in as a centre back, can play right and left back as well if need be. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's tall at 189 centimeters, pretty heavy too, actually, for a quick lad. Yeah, he looks like a pretty decent centre back. He might not start every week, but he is operating at a National League level and has potential to be a championship player in the future. So welcome, Agumbo. Okay. Yeah. Next is Callum Casey. He is a 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential English 18-year-old who's come in as he can play right back, but he's more of a central midfielder. He's a natural central midfielder, so that's probably where we're going to play him. Although if we do play him at right back, look at that pace. Just his crossing and dribbling is not very good. So his passing and stuff isn't too bad for this level, but yeah, he's tall as well. He comes in as National League level, but again has the potential to be an EFL Championship player. He comes in, if we look at central midfielder, he comes in as the 10th best central midfielder of the club. Obviously, we're losing quite a lot of players this year, so he might be in and around the team. Next, we've got Saxon Ely. He comes in from Norwich. He's an 18-year-old English central midfielder and defensive midfielder as well. 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. He looks pretty good. Again, comes in at National League level and has potential to be an EFL League One player in the future. Daniel Oyegoki. Yeah, that's what we're going with. Oyegoki. Daniel Oyegoki is a Nigerian under 20 international, 18 years old. Comes in as basically anyone that can play up the right-hand side, but predominantly a right back. Can also play wing back and winger if need be. But predominantly a wing back. What can he actually do on attack? Yeah, he looks pretty good there. He looks pretty quick, pretty decent as well. He comes in as potential championship player. Again, another one with 5-star potential. We've also got Ryan Harrington coming in. He's a bit older. He's 22 years old, Welsh. He is a 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential centre back. He comes in from the New Saints, which is the Welsh division. He comes in for free as well. We signed him on a pre-contract deal, so welcome to the squad, Ryan. Max McMillan, who is a 18-year-old striker, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, decently quick, decent finishing, decently tall. He comes in from Leeds for free. And the last one is Matthew Craig, who is a 2-star current ability, 5-star potential Scottish 18-year-old, central midfielder as well. We signed a lot of central midfielders, but if you look, he's 194 centimeters tall, can play in the attacking midfield role as well, can play as a shadow striker or advanced playmaker or attacking midfielder, which we use the shadow striker model with decent finishing. Oh my god, can't speak. with decent finishing, he could actually be retrained successfully to be playing in that role. So we'll keep an eye on him. He's another one. He might even go out on loan, to be perfectly honest. But he has potential to be a championship player. He comes in from Tottenham. So we're going to welcome all. God, you have to do these individual. Cool. Well, Jordan Davies, you're going to have a lot of work to do getting these guys into the team. But welcome all our new signings to the club. And as Premier League youngsters, I'm expecting big things. Some of them will be in and around the first team. Some potentially will go out on loan. So let's look at the team and let's look at our squad depth with the new youngsters in there. We're going to filter out future transfers out, basically, and expiring contracts. Expiring contracts is basically people that are leaving the club. We don't want to necessarily see on this report. So, looking at our report as well, have the new guys not come in? All right, let's quickly forward through and then we'll have a look at this. All right, so I figured out what happened. They moved all our new signings into the under 18s, so that's why they weren't there. But let's have a look at the team report here and see what we're working with. We've definitely ideally need a striker. Dior Angus, as I said, mainly played out on the left. We could try him up front, but I don't really want to rely on him in League Two. We could even potentially look to move him on for a fee if we're going to get money for him. Boadu could play up front. Again, he's a natural centre midfielder and attacking midfielder, so he's not a striker option either. McMillan is currently the best out-and-out striker at the club, so we're going to be looking to work on getting in something better than him. Ponce Kelly, we know, isn't. His contract was already. I didn't give him a new contract. He already had another year left. So he's around after his heroics on the last day. And Ribisi's more of a winger. So again, really, with only one striker at the club, we need to get another one of those in. I wouldn't mind some more depth in attacking midfield either. At the moment, we have Boadu and Craig, who can play in that spot. Again, he's got good potential, but I don't necessarily think we can rely on a two-star current ability player who's a good player for National League to be making the step up. In terms of on the wings, we have Brown, who can play there, but mainly going to be playing at left back. Jordan Davies, who was our star man, who got injured quite a lot of last year. Angus can play there as well. Ben Elmane, to be honest, not good enough. We're probably going to be looking to move him on in the summer if we can. Enzo Ribisi as well on that side. He can play. He also can play out on the right. Same sort of players out here as well. So at the moment, we need a striker, maybe a attacking midfield right player. I think we're fine on the left, and an attacking midfield, backup attacking midfielder, or someone that's better. Striker, winger, and attacking midfield center. So far in the midfield, we do have Booty, who is, quite good, so he can make the step up. Edwards can play there, but he's going to be playing pretty much at centre back unless one of these new centre backs looks especially good, and we might want to push him forward to play as our playmaker. But at the moment, it's just Booty and then a bunch of fringe players. We need to improve our central midfield as well. And then we look at our defence. We've got Brown on the left and Davies, who can play there as well, plus new boy Agombo, who can play out on the left if need be. So I think left back, we're okay. Right back, we have two of our new signings. Ryan Harrington can play out there, but probably won't. And we have Casey, who can play out there, potentially can dethrone Horsfield as the number one, because he's, leading national player, so potentially will be decent in League Two. We'll see how he goes. And then we've got centre back. Edwards and Keller are both good, and we've got Harrington, Agombo, and Casey, who can play there as well if need be. I think we're right at centre back. We obviously need a goalkeeper as well. So that is the shopping list. We basically got goalkeeper, a midfielder, attacking midfield, centre, winger, and 1 or 2 strikers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that we need. We potentially need a backup goalkeeper as well. There's 7 players that we need, and the finances that we have to be able to do that. We've got 20k in the transfer budget, which we're not going to use. We just need if there's sign-on fees. And then currently our wage budget is 44,000, and our committed spending at the moment is 25,000. So we have 19,000 left to spend. We basically need to go through now until the 1st of July and then look at all the players that have been released around the world. It takes a while. I'll show you guys quickly on the 1st of July what I'm doing to try and find these players, because obviously with scouting, we can only really scout players within England, which makes it quite difficult to find any good. There's a guy named Sam Allardyce who looks pretty crap, so get rid of you. Where is he playing? Oxford. Ah, okay. Well, he's playing down in the league below, so we don't need him. It's another centre back. We don't need centre backs. Yeah, basically, I'll show you, because as much as we can scout England, there's a lot of talent in other countries that is just very hard to find when you're in League Two. There are really good players that will come to us, but it's quite hard to find them. We do actually have, very quickly, and then I'll let you guys go. We do have a couple players in on trial as well. We need to find them. Marlon Fossey is a right back. He's a 22-year-old American, 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Decent player for League 2 sides. Could be a League 1 player in the future as well. We're going to be looking to make a... I think for them, he only wants $400 a week. So we'll definitely do that. We'll keep the relegation release clause because we're not likely to get relegated. And we might remove that. Just see what he wants. Of course, all that butt stuff in. You're not having that. And not having that. See, he'll sign 400 for £400 a week. That is a good signing. The other guy we've got in on loan, on trial, is Luke Jensen, who's a 22-year-old, not a very good goalkeeper, 3-star goalkeeper, good player for National League sides. We're going to just continue his trial, just because, his doesn't end for quite a while. And then Joe Anderson is a 20-year-old left back being released from Everton in the summer. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's currently operating at a National League level. Could be a League 1 player in the future. He could be a backup to Brown, especially if we want to push Brown further forward. We could look to have him come in, depending on what he wants. Breakthrough prospect, not a problem. £170 a week. Get in the club, son. All right. Anyway, guys, we're going to fast forward through the 1st of July, where the contracts end, and I'll show you guys what we'll be doing to find the new players. So I'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. It is now the 1st of July. It is tomorrow for me because, I had to go to sleep, so I didn't continue doing it. But 1st of July, we've now released 10 players. Nothing really too much of note. A few players that had featured a couple times for us, but nothing too terrible for us. These are the contracts that are up this year, though. So there are some that we probably want to renew, like anyone with 5-star potential, really. I think we probably want to. I mean, these guys just signed a contract, but he was out on loan, looked pretty good. So let's get our director of football to do those ones. You recently signed. We'll have to re-sign these guys soon. I think everyone else, probably you guys, we'd want to do that, but we got plenty of time for that. Staff, we won't worry too much about. Most of them will just go month. We're releasing you. We're keeping you. We're going to probably put you back out on loan. As, he's still got heaps of potential to go. There is a little bit of transfer news Well, there wasn't. We made some contract offers for some players, but one went to Cambridge instead of coming to us. He looked pretty good as an attacking midfielder who could play out on the right wing as well. So we missed out on a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people, on a couple of key people where we really need to strengthen our squad. You can see, yeah, these loans have finished as well. The only other bit of transfer news as well, obviously, Bossy and Anderson. You'll see that their dollar figures are a little bit different from what you saw last night. It's mainly because I forgot to save the game and had to redo the contracts, and they wanted just a smidge more money. But yeah, we've got Fossey, who's an American 22-year-old right back, and Joe Anderson, who's cover for us in left back position, joining the club as well. The only other piece of news is what we've decided to extend Lewis Webb's loan from Swansea because it's £90 a week, and you can, what first like team player you're going to get for £90 a week? He's now EFL 2 level goalkeeper who can play in the Championship in the future. He's the best goalkeeper at the club. He is Welsh as well. 19 years old. Made a lot of sense to bring him in. So I'm going to quickly show you what we're going to be doing to try and find some players. And then I'm going to do all that off screen. We're going to fast forward to the first game of the season, or just before the first game of the season. And then we'll go through all the players that we signed, and also some of the more notable players that we tried to sign but have gone to different clubs as well. Just because of our stature in the game, we're not going to obviously attract the best players. So sometimes it's very hard to find noteworthy and good young players to come in. But there's a few different tactics that I use to try and find players. One thing I do is if you go to transfers and go to your director of football, you can ask for them to suggest transfer targets. I want free transfers. Just that. He suggests 3 people. They're all old, so I don't necessarily want to bring these guys in. I mean, it's not the end of the world if we bring in a 28-year-old or 29-year-old attacking midfielder, but I would rather go for young players. So this is one way that we do it. I might look for strikers next. Go free transfer. Suggest. See Ellie Sims, who I believe was at Everton. Marcus Barnes from from Oldham apparently. He played a full season, scored 1 goal in 39 games as a striker. I don't think we want him even if he's showing his 4-star ability. Let's maybe take a look at him. We're going to offer a trial. I generally like to do 2 weeks. This gives us a little bit more time. Oh, we already put a bid in for him. When did we put a bid in for him? He must have shown up on some scouting report or something. I don't remember doing that. But director of football is one way that we can identify targets. The other way is just by looking. If you go to World and go to where is it? World here and go to transfers, you can basically hit free transfers, or sorry, released players. Shows you everybody released in the game. Now that list is just ridiculous to go through. So generally what I do is I like to go through some of the more notable nations sort of one by one and identify some players. Obviously England, Scotland and Ireland is basically where we can sign most of our players from a few different reasons. Work permits are a big problem at this level. There are some players that will qualify for them, and they generally come from like the more notable clubs. Like if we look in Spain, for example, and we go to see, let's have a look at, we'll look at Real Madrid actually, because Real Madrid's got some spicy youngsters. So we can see Real Madrid's got quite a lot of released players. Now they're not all going to be able to get a work permit. This guy looks pretty good. He might not come to our club. That's the only other thing as well. So what we can do is if they have an agent, we can ask around it. Yeah, they want like 8K a week. We're probably not going to go in for them. But we're just sort of going to have a look and see, yeah, it gives us a work permit likely or not. But he's not wanting to come in. And basically this is sort of what we do is we just go through some of the players here. Where were we up to? Here. He doesn't have an agent, so we're just going to offer him a trial because there's not too much on the stats. He's another centre back. I don't know if we need a centre back. Again, let's have a look here. Work permit likely would want wages of 2K a week. I mean, just looking at his stats already, he might be pretty good coming in from Real Madrid. So we might even just go in for him without scouting. Obviously, we can't scout these players. We can offer them trials. But you can see that he's wanted by 24 clubs. So chances are he's pretty good. So, I mean, we might as well just go, all right, well, we have to do those. He wants to be a star player. He's going to be good. It's going to cost us a little bit of money. And he wants a release clause of 6 million. So I don't think this player would ever sign for us. But it's it's decent just to have a look at it. We'd probably fail to get a work permit, so we're not going to even worry about you, even though you look really good. He doesn't have a agent, so we can't see some of the stuff, but we don't need another left back. So this guy looks very good. Just from high determination, decent pace, maybe dribbling and first touching good. He looks like he plays on the left. Yeah, we'd want 2K a week. We can afford that. Allow him to treat him as a stepping stone, so he's probably good. Work permit likely. So he's also wanted by 24 clubs. So let's just... You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. So we're just going to say, sure, we will give you that. Might even offer this guy, like, if he's wanted by so many clubs, we might even just offer him some more money. Just to try and entice him to come. He's a central midfielder. We could offer him a trial. I'm really looking for ones with agents because I don't really want to waste my time with people that can't get a work permit. He wanted by 16 clubs. He's probably good, but we don't need a left back. So, yeah. So we can do that for some... I mean, we don't always have to go to Real Madrid. They're like... Obviously, their stature in the game is much higher than ours. So, we don't have to always go to, like, that level of club. We can sort of bum around pretty much most places around Spain. There's Barcelona, but there's Athletic. Yeah, so you don't have another left back. Central defender. We don't need a central defender. You're French, not wanted by anybody. Winger, we do need a winger. Don't have an agent. Let's get you in on trial anyway and just have a look at you. Probably not going to get a work permit. He looks good as well. Would probably fail to get a work permit. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's the problem with most of these players. Is gonna get a work permit. He has finishing 13 to 20 at 18. Ooh, we're definitely gonna offer you a trial. That's for sure. Just to see if there is a chance to get a work permit or not. Did Barcelona? Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, did Barcelona not release people? Anyway, we're going to do a lot of that off screen. Basically, the countries that I'm going to be looking for is like Spain, Scotland, England, Italy, Austria, Serbia, that kind of stuff. The other thing that you can do is you can look at countries and look at their under 19 squads. So, for example, if I go to Croatia and look at their national teams and under 19s, right, they haven't got a lot. But if you look here, basically, they have players that are playing international football, which are more likely to get a work permit, that don't have a club. So we can offer these guys a trial, bring him in, and see how he goes. So if we do the same thing with Spain, for example, and we go to Spain's under 19 team, look at the clubs that they're in. This guy, do we already go in for this guy? Oh, he was a left back. We don't need a left back, right? We asked him. We probably failed to get a work permit, but he's playing international football, so I don't know if that would actually happen or not. But yeah, basically, you're trying to target. You're trying to target players that are playing international football now and could potentially come in for nothing. This guy, for example, doesn't have an agent, so we're just going to offer him a trial just to see what he's about. No, obviously, attributes, but he's capped under 19 level, so potentially they're good players. I mean, you could even, let's say Germany. If we go to Germany's like under 19s, for example, there's another left back. I mean, the game is just throwing left backs at me. But he says he'll probably fail to get a work permit. So not all of them are going to be able to get a work permit, even if they're playing international football. Bit of a shame. So anyway, we're going to be doing a blend of tactics to basically go through and look at all the players released. Obviously, most of our ones, I imagine, are going to be coming from England, just because, they're able to sign without a work permit. There's an argument sometimes that even if they fail to get a work permit, it's worth signing them and sending them on loan so they can either get a work permit later or you can sell them off for a big fee if they look pretty good. But we're going to look at basically big clubs releasing players. We're going to go through a lot of them and we don't need a centre back. But yeah, unfortunately, you can't change the view, I don't think, in this place. So you can't just search for like strikers or attacking midfielders, but here's an attacking midfielder, and we're going to offer you a trial, bring him on loan, look at a bunch of players, and then see who we end up with. So I'm going to do this for quite a while. I'll see you back for the start of the season or just before the start of the season, and we'll go through all the players that we signed and some of the ones that we put in offers for that we couldn't sign. So I'll see you guys really soon. I was going to wait till the first game of the season to show you all the transfers, but I can't believe the 24 clubs were interested in this player. No one else offered him a contract but us. He's come in and we can have a proper look at him. He's a B rating. Oscar Aranda, already valued at 75,000. We're paying him 2K a week. Admittedly, we probably could have got him for a bit cheaper. But look at him. He can play out on the left. 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He can play up front. He can play on the right. Man, oh man. He's in from Real Madrid. Like, oh, he's going to be... We need to make some improvements up front because we promised him we'd sign a striker. We've been trying to sign a striker, but we haven't been able to. But he's already operating at a League One level and a potential to be a Premier League player. If we can hold on to him, we have a player for the next how many years this save is going to go. It does have a release clause of 6 million. I mean, if we get 6 million for him, we can strengthen all across, all across the team. There's still got some wage budget left as well. We've got a bunch of trialers in that we're probably not going to sign. Like, this guy looks good. He's just not going to, immediately improve the team. He's a national level player and he has potential to be a League One player, which, I mean, he might not be a terrible signing, but yeah, it's hard to know if that's what we should do. We're going to add him to the short list just to see if anything happens to him. But I won't spoil too much about what's happening. I just want to show you that one, and we'll come back for the first game of the season, and we'll go through all the transfers for you. We'll see you soon. Alrighty, everyone. We are now ready to go for our first game of the season. But before we get into that, let's have a look at a few things that has happened over the summer. Firstly, we're going to look at some transfers that we've done, and then I'll show you some of the ones that didn't go through. that we were trying to get. But we've had a busy summer. You've seen Joe Anderson and Fossey already come in, and obviously you saw what a player he is. He's going to be our star man, Oscar Aranda, um, come into the club as well. But we've signed more players. First, let's look at Peter Federico. He is a Spanish winger, mainly plays out on the right wing. He comes in from Real Madrid as well. However, he failed to get a work permit, so he has gone out on loan. I mean, he's only on £675 a week, and they're paying all his wages. No, they're not. Yes, yeah, sorry, they are. They are paying all his wages. So he's cost us nothing at the end of the day. I thought we might as well bring him in. Matthew Bondswell comes in from Red Bull Leipzig. He is a 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential left back. So we now have another left back that can start. He can also play centre back. He's good cover there. He can also play right back as well. A good cover along the back line. He is a good League Two player. Has potential to be a League One player as well. Second choice to Archie Brown. Hitami comes in. He's an Albanian midfielder. Again, failed to get a work permit. He's a 3-star current ability, 5-star potential player. Already plays at this level. Can play at League One. He's now gone out on loan as well. We've got some money from him. Plus, they're paying his wages, so he goes back out into Germany. He comes in from Dortmund. We've got Calvin Orsi. He's a Scottish right winger and striker. He's a 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential, and he's a decent player for League Two as well. So he's mainly there for cover in those spots. Oscar Rando, you've already seen. I just like showing him off. He's great. Javier Corras is a Spanish striker, 18 years old. He is a 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential player, playing at National League level, has potential to be a League One player as well. Doesn't have a work permit, so he's gone out on loan. Again, they're paying all his wages. I mean, he's on £200 a week anyway, so why not sign him? Rafa Maran. He is a Spanish centre back, 19 years of age, star player for us, 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He is probably the best player at the club. He's 191 centimeters tall. I love a good tall centre back. Good heading, good jumping as well, decent pace as well for the high line that we play. And yeah, he comes in from Real Madrid. He did get a work permit, so he is all ready to go and comfortably the best centre back at the club. But he's actually already operating at a League One level and has potential to be a championship player in the future. So he'll be with us for years to come. We did manage to get Hayden Hackney back on loan. So he's a 4-star current ability, 5-star potential, 19-year-old player from Middlesbrough. Again, playing at League One, can play at Premier League. We'll see how he goes. He didn't look that special last year, but I was a bit strapped for what to do in the central midfield. So he's in. He's definitely got some cover there. Liam Coyle is a 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential defensive midfielder, which we don't play with, but he can do cover for central midfielder, right back, and centre back in a pinch as well. He looks pretty decent. He's 21 years old. He's from Northern Ireland. We're only paying him £210 a week, and I figure for that kind of money, yes, he's only at a National League level, but he's just cover for the squad. So we'll look to sort of use him on rotation for cup games and that kind of stuff. Same with like Ben Garrity. He's a 24-year-old English central midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, providing cover in there. He is, I told him he's a star player when he signed, because he signed before we brought a lot of other good players in. But he's a decent or good player for League Two sides, has potential to be a League One player as well. He is apparently the third best midfielder at the club, better than Booty, apparently, according to that. He's not fit yet, so he won't be playing in the first game of the season, but expect him to feature heavily throughout the year. Lewis Dobbin is a striker and winger, can play on either side. That's come in from Everton on loan for the year. He's 18 years old. He is a good player for League Two and has potential to be a Premier League player in the future. So nice to see we've got him in this. Wiedemann, he's a French midfielder. Again, another one that failed to get a work permit but decided to sign anyway, only because he's on £190 a week. I figured why not? If we manage to get a work permit, he can join the team next year. He's a National League player at the moment, can be a League One player in the future. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, central midfield. So we do have some options all ready to go for next year. And last but not least, at the moment, we do have Ricky J. Jones, which if you're a Peterborough fan or a Posh fan, you would know who he is. He's actually coming in from Forest, who bought him last year, played a game and scored a goal in the championship for them last year. Scored 2 goals in League One out of 8 appearances for, only 2 starts for Peterborough before being sold. If you look at his pace, 18 acceleration, 18 pace, the kid's going to be amazing. He's already League Two quality and has potential to be a Premier League player in the future. He's the best striker at the club by far. We're paying him 2.4k a week. He's going to be the prolific man that we've been looking for. His value is 110k per week. And if he's good, maybe we can bring him back next year as well. We have some players going out on loan. Most of them you've already seen. A couple of the Premier League youngsters that we signed, like Callum Casey and Matthew Craig, just aren't good enough, so they've gone out on loan at the moment. Billy Francis is another youngster for us. He's a 2-star current ability, 5-star potential player. Still not good enough yet. So he's just gone on loan to see if he can improve. In terms of where that leaves our finances, we're actually doing pretty good. Our wage budget, we've still got 10k left, and we've also got 200k in our transfer budget, which we're probably not going to spend unless someone is spectacular ends up on like the transfer list or something like that. Club financials are looking decent, 814,000, but more importantly, our projection is actually looking good for the next few years. End of this year, only 590,000, so expected to take a loss, but in the next couple of years, we're expected to make a profit. So with turnover not really getting that much bigger, so we're expected the bigger transfer budgets for the next few years as well. So looking pretty decent financially at the moment. He still needs to go out on loan, so that's why it's showing up in our development center as a potential player can join the first team. You're not good enough, so you're not going to. Mike Butler's moved back down into the under 18s as we've got lots of centre backs in front of him now, but we have kept Vaughan in and around the first team. We're retraining him as a shadow striker as we don't have much depth there. He has like decent attributes for it as well. He probably, to be honest, be a much better winger. So he can still play winger, but we just want him to have another option. He might get some chances coming off the bench this year. We'll see how we go. He'll probably go out at loan as soon as he hits 17 towards the end of the year, but he's available for the under 18s anyway, so he's going to be playing majority of games for them. Dynamics will look decent. We haven't ruined the cohesion too much. Atmosphere is good. Support is good. We're looking pretty decent. In terms of the league, when we came up, basically they were telling us, we'll be lucky if we escape promotion. But if you actually look at the season preview from the media, they predict we'll be in the playoffs, finishing 5th. So, anything's kind of good to go. We've got one player in the media Dream 11. Baran, our star centre back. Aranda is our next player who didn't make the Dream 11 there, but for us, he's an absolute star. So he has a £6 million release clause. Hopefully it doesn't get activated and we get to keep him. But if it does, that's £6 million we get to spend. So that's pretty good. Our youth facilities are still getting worked on. Avoid a relegation battle is all we need to do. We just need to be competitive in the EFL Cup and reach the second round of the FA Cup. think that's stuff we can all do this year as well. Look at our performance. Transfer wise, were the board happy? I would say that they were happy with majority of the transfers that we bought in. Some of them they were not too pleased with, but so far, apparently, transfer wise, we're doing all right. That basically leaves the squad depth looking like this. Aranda is probably going to play more out on the left than he is up front, but we do have the option to play him there. We do have Brown that can play out on the left as well. Dobbin, who can play out on the right, is our star man. Ricky J. Jones is our star striker, and not too much in behind him, to be perfectly honest. We've still got Ponticelli picking around and Angus kicking around the club. Attacking midfield wise, we might give Hackney a go, playing a bit further forward this year, as he can play in the shadow striker role, and he has decent finishing, composure, and all the rest of it. So he might be looking to play up there. I mean, he's £350 a week. It made perfect sense to get him back. But we do have Odu as well, who had a pretty decent season for us last year. Ben Garrity can come and play as a shadow striker as well. Dobbin can play in there. McMillan, who is still showing in the striker. I don't know why he wasn't before Angus, but he can play competently there as well, but more likely will be coming off the bench as a strike option for us. We want to have a look at him anyway. Midfield, Hackney, Booty, Garrity. Horsfield apparently can play there as well as right back. He's more of a defensive midfielder though, so see how we go. Central midfielder, I think we're okay for. Probably not the best. If we could bring in maybe one more central midfielder, we'd look to do that. On the left back, we've got Brown and Bonswell, who's a very decent second choice. And then from there, there's a few more players. Joe Davies is the one Jordan Davies, sorry, is one that has been around the club for quite a while. Centre back, we're pretty good. We've got Moran Edwards as our first choice. Edwards is injured, so he will miss the first couple of weeks of the season. But we do have Keller, and then we've got Harrington as well, who you saw earlier in the summer, who can provide cover in that position. Bonswell can play there as well. And then on the right, we have Fossey, our new player. Horsfield that came up for us last year. Harrington can play there. Bonswell can play there. Looking pretty good. We bought Lewis Webb back in on loan, and we put a bid in for this guy, Jacob Carney, who looks fine as second choice. He can sit on our bench all year. So that pretty much is the team for the year. A potential starting 11 for us for tomorrow's videos, where we'll be doing the start of the season. Could look like this: a Webb in goal, a back four of Brown, Keller, Rafa Moran, Fossey, Hackney and Booty in midfield, Aranda, Boudou, and Dobbin as the attacking midfield three, and Jones up front, and a bunch of the new boys on the bench: Bonswell, Garrity, Ely, McMillan. There's obviously a lot more players that we have down here. We have a pretty deep squad, I would say, this year. A lot of them just aren't match fit yet. He is match fit, so he might make his way on his bench. I'll have a play with it a bit later on and see what we want to do. But yeah, we've got quite a comprehensive squad, which means like when we get injuries and that kind of stuff, we're kind of able to cope. Ben Elmane has been injured. He's out for like 2 months. To be honest, it's going to be very hard for him to win his place back. I don't think he's good enough. He's just on a lot of money as well. So we'll look to try and get rid of him in the summer, or try and loan him out or something once he's fit. But you can see star rating wise, our squad's looking pretty good. It's funny that like when a good player like Aranda comes in, Ricky J. Jones comes in, and all these like 4-star players come in, they really like show the other players like their star ratings go down because it's all relative to the rest of the squad. So like he's now just a 3-star keeper. Before he was like 3.5 or 4, but he is a good player for League Two and he has potential to improve, and he's Welsh, which is good for us. So being a Welsh club, and he's costing us £90 per week. So I would say currently at the moment we're doing pretty good with the transfer window. Transfer wise, we're probably just looking at a couple more players that we want to bring in. This guy is a French attacking midfielder. I don't know if he'll get a work permit though. This is an Italian central midfielder. Again, the problem is work permit wise, if we can sign him anyway, some players don't want to come without a work permit. He has been playing in the Italian team, so he's from Fiorentina. If we can get him, he looks great. So we'll see how we go. In terms of some of the transfers that we offered players and they just went elsewhere, there were a few. This guy, David Cuenca, we put in an offer for him. He was another one from Real Madrid, but he decided to go stay in Spain instead. He's a left back and centre back, which is predominantly where we were looking to play him. Carlos Perez, we put in an offer for. He looked like just our star attacking midfielder. He was going to come in there, but he decided to, again, stay in Spain in the La Liga 2. Can't blame him, but he would have been fantastic. We offered him more money than they're paying him to. Ellie Sims, we put in an offer for, but he went to McDonald's as well, so we didn't get him. Armin Azel, he went to Portsmouth. He was a Moroccan central midfielder. Look at that. 4.5-star current ability. Play in the championship potentially in the future. He would have been the best central midfielder at the club by far. So we missed out on him. He was coming in from Germany, Bayer Leverkusen. So, Miguel Fernandez, we were looking at signing. He was a 3-star current ability, 5-star potential midfielder, I'm pretty sure at the time. He looked pretty good. He's driven as well with that 20 determination. He was going to, do pretty well, but he decided to go play in the National League instead of coming to League 2. So, go figure. He's another one who didn't need a work permit. Connor Stanley was someone that we put in an offer for. He was a Manchester United youngster. Again, he went to Bradford instead of coming to us. 3-star winger. He looked pretty good. He's going to be a star, I'm sure. Some of the other ones that we missed out on. This guy, Ross McIver, he was coming in from Motherwell. Looked really, really good. Could play in a variety of positions for us. He went to Cambridge instead, so what can you do, eh? They're in a better position. Who else did we put an offer in for? I think we tried to sign you, but what happened to you? He wants a bunch of stuff. He's probably not going to get a work permit. I think that's what it was. I mean, we might as well try. £750 a week. I don't think we even tried for that guy. But he looked like a pretty decent youngster. So, and that guy we put an offer in for. So, yeah, that's pretty much. We did have a look at Joel Pereira. I'm pretty sure though he didn't want to come. Yeah, he didn't want to come to the club. But I mean, no one's in for him. So, if no one continues to be in for him, he might come and join us later on. We did look at Charlie Austin. He didn't want to come to the club. Ryan Astley was someone we were looking at on loan, but to be honest, we didn't need any more centre backs. So, yeah, that's pretty much the squad. Oh, yeah, we did try and putting a bid in for this guy. I'm pretty sure we put in a bid for this guy because he looked pretty good. I swear we had more information on him. Did we not? No, he didn't want to join us. That's what happened. Yeah, so I stopped all his stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much the transfer, guys. As you can see, we still got money in the wage budget. We still got money in the transfer budget. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. I would say we might make the playoffs this year with players like Aranda and Jones, Dobbin as well. I think we're just really strong going forward. We're really strong at the back, or central back anyway, and left back. And decent in midfield. I think that's probably where we can get the biggest strengthening, but we've already got 5 players in on loan. What are you going to do? In terms of tomorrow's game, we've got the first two games of the season. So Tranmere Rovers and Mansfield will be our first couple of games. We will do the Preston one offline, and then we'll probably come back for like Grimsby and Leyton Orient or Warsaw somewhere in mid-September, and then see how we go from there, basically. But yeah, that's going to be the transfer special, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It does help me out. And leave a comment letting me know which player you're most excited to see this season. That's going to be it from me. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.